All right, it's freezing in here today. It's cold outside too. So it's mid-afternoon. I've been working on my taxes all morning. Oh, golly. But I figured we can get some stuff done here. We'll try to get maybe these hoses routed and maybe get that filler tube on. I guess that'd be a good thing to do. Yeah, I don't know. We'll find a little stuff to do. I can't do a whole lot. That fuel line is supposed to be here today sometime, so it'd be great if it shows up. I'll get that put on there, and then we can get this radiator going. But until that's done, I don't want to do anything else down there. I do need to get more bolts. I haven't done that yet. I was going to do it when I took the old guy to get his chair, and I don't know. His mind was in a different place, so I didn't want to disturb him. We drove all over the place. We drove circles. Anyway, whatever. Let me just get started and see what we can get tied in there. All right, so these bottom ones are going to be the same way. I'm going to have to get them to go over this way. So I'm make them a little bigger. So I got to tear this apart again now that I got it all fixed in here. Oh well, price you pay. All right, hey, it's better than doing taxes. A lot more fun. All right, let me get back to this. All right, that was fun. I just had the neighbor lady come over with her grandson. Bubs, he's a trip. He's a trip. He cried all the way over, didn't want to come over. Then he got here, and then he didn't want to leave, so he cried all the way down the driveway. He loves it here once he's here, though. He gets to climb all over the tractors and the stuff. He's a funny kid. Funny guy. Big kid. We're snugging this up. And then this part will be done. That's great. And this just hangs over the end, I guess. Drains out any coolant. Overflow. All right, so I need to get these cut out. I just covered them up when I put the foam on the other side. So that way the radiator hoses can come through there. And we'll shove this little line through there. And then we got two hoses on the other side that'll need to come through. So I'll probably get those fitted up. And we'll go from there. All right, so I'm gonna have to go back and look at the pictures because I don't really like that thing hit. I mean, this is where it's supposed to go, which I took the ground off that, by the way, so I'll have to ground it on the other side somewhere. But I don't like that this is kind of riding on the two exhausts, you know what I mean? That's kind of weird because it's gonna touch there and it's gonna touch there. That's not, I'll have to go back and look at the pictures. I mean, it is tight quarters in there. Maybe that's the way it was, but boy, I don't really like that, but we'll have to see. All right, so I found a hole. We got that thing mounted. I had to push this hose really far back in here, but it's not touching anything anymore. I need to go figure that ground out, get it somewhere else. But yeah, it's coming along. It's fighting me, but it's coming along. All right, I got a little something to eat. My wife made me a little hamburger. We've been working on that weight problem that people think I have. Anyway, we normally do this time of year. I moved the ground over here, put it on the engine mount, so I think that's going to be fine. It's better than trying to go around this spinning stuff and hot stuff, so I think that'll work better. Still waiting on the UPS man to show up. As soon as he gets here with that fuel line, we can move forward. I really don't want to do too much else until he's here. I still need to get screws for the top of this and some more bolts, which I'll probably try to do tonight because I need to get diesel. I sold my mow tires to a guy in West Virginia, an old coal miner, retired coal miner, so that's pretty neat. So me and my dad are gonna run up there tomorrow and take these up to him. And yeah, so that'll be cool. And it gets them out of my way, which is even cooler. But yeah. All right, so once the fuel line gets in, we'll move forward. I guess I'll just sit here and play around until it does. All right. All right, so as I've been looking around trying to figure out what I do next, I've gotten the rest of the bolts in on this side and then got everything tightened up and all that, so that's good. Just waiting on that fuel line. But I figure I need to go ahead and make some feet. And I've had this 1/4-inch rubber laying around for years. So I think we're going to use it to make us, 4 different big pads that we can put the machine on top of. It'll just leave that channel in between the metal so it's not metal to metal rubbing, and then also it'll let the water drain. So, all right, so let's cut some of this up, make some feet, and we'll set it in there. And we'll just set the generator on top of it, then we'll bolt it in. That pressure alone will just keep it in place. So, and I think it'll help with some of the, gyration, right? Sound deadening probably too. So, all right, let's get some of this fixed up. So I think that'll work out good. The generator will just sit on top of that. We'll bolt it in, and that pressure will just pull them together. It'll just lift it up enough that water won't be sitting into those 2 pieces of steel in between them. So, okay, let's move on. All right, finally, fuel line. Let's get that installed, and we can go from there. Whew. Well, it's almost 5, so I'll probably do this, and then we'll probably go up into town and get some more bolts because I'm going to need bolts and a bunch of other stuff before we go too far. But this gets us going, so very good. Let's get this fuel line on. Oh my goodness, I think every part of this is just going to beat me down. But I got it in there, so we're good. What a pain in the butt that was, but yeah, we got it, so it's fine. But yeah, all right, now we just need to go on that side and start hooking up that fuel line over there. And then I think it's just a matter of starting to put the radiator in, huh? All right, I had to hook you up to an external battery so that you could stay going. You died. But anyway, we did really good. We got all the bolts in this side. They're loose, but they're all in there. All the way around, and I'm 1 short from getting that side done. I'm going to need a bunch more. It's crazy, though, because I bought like 2 pounds of these little bolts, and I've used them all. But I've replaced everything, I mean, all the way through. So, but she's looking good. Again, I got to get that one in. And then we'll get that, well, I can probably do that now. Get these lines hooked up to the top of the radiator. That radiator was a pain in the butt to get in there because it doesn't sit down by itself. It really just mounts to this front panel, but then you have to go through the plate down there to get it in. So it all rests on those bolts. Kind of weird. You'd think they would have made the solid bracket go on the solid steel, but whatever. Anyway, I'm short on bolts, so we'll go get those tonight. I was planning on going anyway because I got to fill the truck up for our trip tomorrow. So yeah, I'll do as much as I can until my wife comes out when she's ready to go, and then off to town we'll go. But maybe I'll get this radiator hose in and that one on. That'd be a good place to be. Okay, I'll chat with you in a while. Alright, so I don't really know what I'm even getting. I wasn't paying attention. I don't think the speed camera was even on this. But I got the top radiator line in. I need to zip tie the plastics though. And then I got the bottom fuel line connectors on there, so that's good. So really we're to the point of putting the air cleaner on, and then I just need a lot more bolts and screws. So we will, yeah, we'll just continue on this path until the wife tells me she's ready, and then we just need a couple more pounds of screws and washers and little screws for the electro box. But we'll see if we can't get this air cleaner on here now. We'll get these plastics tied up first, but we're doing good, I think. We're doing really good, I think. So we're just going to keep on going. All right, so I went to put the air cleaner in, and I had a tactical fail. This bracket was rusty on the bottom, and I didn't pick it up and look at it. The other side looked clean. The top side, the bucket that the filter goes in, everything's fine. But I didn't pick it up to look at it. So, Ammo Dan, sorry buddy, my tactical planning is going downhill since I retired. Anyway, yeah, other than getting some bolts and waiting for that to dry, so that'll be probably tomorrow evening if I get back in time to do it. If not, I will see you guys tomorrow. All right, so I just got back from West Virginia, and I met a wonderful, wonderful man that I sold the Mow tires for my tractor to, so that's great. So that's all done. I appreciate my dad riding with me. We had a pretty good time. And just wonderful people. I mean, just wonderful people. Old coal miner, great people. So anyway, I'm back on this. I went to the store and got the screws for the electrical plate last night, as along with a bunch of bolts for this. We were going to put that air cleaner in last night, but the bracket was rusty, so we got that painted up last night, so that's ready to go in. So I'm going to go ahead and work on getting that bracket in, and then we'll get the air cleaner put on there with the new air cleaner, because if you'll kind of remember, it was full of dirt, so it'll be good to have that on there. And then, yeah, I think we're in a good position. It'll be time to set this on top of the, well, I got to get that fan in there, but I think I'm going to get the fan in there on this where I can reach up in there and line it up and push it in, where I can push the fan from underneath, because I can't get the bumps. Or I may do it while it's hanging, but I really don't want to put my hand underneath the thing when it's in the air. So I'll probably set it down in here, get it lined up, reach in there, get the fan going on there, and we'll be in a good place. So, yeah, if I get this air cleaner on there, we'll see how far we get past there, because I'll have to clean all this up anyway. And it's already late. So let me get going on that. If we get the air cleaner in there, I'll be happy. Alright, so I got the front rolled over here. So basically I'm going to lift it up and then just push this underneath it and line it all up and then put it down so I don't break anything off. But I got mud all over my thing here, so I'm going to pick this up here in a second. I'm going to let it warm up, pick it up. I'm going to use the shovel and knock all the dirt off into the wheelbarrow. And at least that's not going to be falling on my engine. So, alright, we'll get that done here in a second. Then we'll get back on getting this thing lifted. I'll bring this around, get it shifted, set it down, try to line up all the screws. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. But pretty glad to be at this point for sure. I mean, it's pretty nice, pretty nice. All right, I'll get back with you. right, so we got to lift it. We're just gonna get her pushed in underneath here, and get her loaded on this on the rack finally. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? Hey, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. Only about 10% of the people that watch are subscribed, and it would really help me out. Thanks. Don't forget that thumbs up. Back to the video. All right, now it's just a matter of figuring out to get those bolts lined up in there. All right, now I just need to get these bolts in the bottom here, but I gotta find them first. See if I'm even close to in the right location. And then I don't know if I can just shove this generator around or what, because remember it's on them rubber feet now. I'm not finding the hole there. May have to come way over. I have to move stuff around and figure it out. All right, give me a second. I'm gonna figure this out. All right, well, we got them all started in there, so now I think we can set it down. I may put washers on those. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to look at the size of the holes underneath, but anyway, regardless, we got the 4 bolts started, so when it sets down, it'll set down in the right location. I thought we were going to have a problem because the positive stat out farther than that, but I kind of remember that when I took it out, it scraped on that, so that worked out just fine, I think. I just remembered to push it all the way in and then pull it back. So yeah, we're all lined up, and I just need to let her down, and we're in a good place. We're in a good place. I'm getting choked out by the diesel. I'll leave them loose until I get them all in there, and then I'm just going to kind of move this around and measure it and center it really good. You can probably see way better than me what I'm doing, because I can't even see. I don't need this extension. I was thinking I was going to be reaching up in there, but right, so that was just crazy. The big man upstairs was looking out for me. I didn't put that fan in there, and I should have put that fan in there. You know, once I had this mounted, I couldn't get up underneath it because the generator was on the ground, and you have to get the whole fan up underneath. So I thought, well, I'll just wait until I put it up here. I wasn't thinking about getting in there to get the bolts. But luckily, I could unbolt these, and it was loose enough that I could shove it back just enough for my arm to get in there. And then luckily, again, I could shift that fan around enough to find those bolt holes and get them put in there. So worked out just fine. It just scared me, but thank the good man. He hooked me up on that one. I will have to get coolant. I don't think I have the coolant for this, so I'll have to read the I'll have to look up the Perkins number and see how much coolant it takes. And you remember it used to be on here 5 quarts, whatever. I took a picture of all that, so I'll have to rewrite that somewhere just so I give the next person the same. I'll write it right here to give that next person the same information, so you don't have to look it up again. All right, that's great. Perfect. So we got the rubber underneath there. We got that spaced out. We got the thing mounted. It's all new bolts. Great. We still need to paint the underside of the pan. We're going to sand this down, but we'll do that when we put it in the bus. We'll get up under there and we'll just sand her down and paint her up right in there. I still need to get the seam seal. Everybody seems to think this is seam seal. If you have a different idea, please let me know, but I got to get the seam seal, push this forward, get that thing locked on there, and fix that, so that'll be good. I still need to drill through these. I want to drill all the way through and put a bolt all the way through on these. They're just riveted in the top, but man, I don't like this at all. I don't. It's just putting a lot of pressure on that fiberglass. And I probably need to thicken up down here. I'll patch this up where this fiberglass is broken away. I'm going to get in there and kind of just patch that so it doesn't move and get that taken care of. That's easy peasy because it's behind it. There's another crack on this one. The crack's there, right? So I'll get those thickened up and get that fixed. But I can do that with the engine, and I can with this in the bus. I can do all that stuff, right? I can get to that, so that's not a big deal. I still need to put sound deadener underneath the bus, up underneath the top, so I'll probably do that first thing in the morning or sometime tomorrow. And so I'm going to go ahead and put this whole top. I'm just going to do sound deadening across the top of this just to see. I don't know if it'd do any good with it or if it's even necessary or whatever. And then I'll put a separate piece over the little panel there. But yeah, we'll get some sound deadener going on the top part of that. So maybe that'll quieten that. There's not a lot of noise coming from here or anything. Why not do it? We're here and I have it. So, all right. Well, that's going to be it for me today. It's getting late and it's starting to get cold. I can feel it coming and whatever. So, all right. Happy with that progress. You guys have a good night. Good morning. Hey, it's a wonderful morning. I'm a little stiff from the driving yesterday. I'm not going to lie. But I got out here and today I went to get the radiator fluid to put into the generator, and then I want to put the generator in the bus. I was concerned about these missing wheels right here, so I did some research this morning, and what I did end up doing is you can't find this part, right? So it's not listed. You can look up a million different ways, right? I could find a wheel possibly, so I started looking at that, and what I found out though is I went to a junkyard site and started looking at the junkyard ones with the generators out, and every single one of them is missing those. So they must not have put those in there after a certain year or whatever. So yeah, it's not missing. They just were never there. So anyway, so I'm not worried about that anymore. What I did start worrying about is the fuel lines. I don't know which one goes to which side, which one's the return and which one's the pull. So I'm going to have to try to figure that out. Dummy. I don't know what I was thinking when I pulled that off. I do want to go ahead and get the sound deadened at the top though, so we're going to do that first. And then, yeah, I think I'm ready to hook this thing in here after I put the coolant in. I can put the coolant in afterwards too. I just kind of wanted to put the coolant in while I can see everything and it's easy to get to. So anyway, and then we still have to figure out the exhaust. We're still got to get the exhaust in there. I want to change the oil, but I really can't do that until I'll warm the machine up, so that'll be a while. I could change the fuel filter though. I can go ahead and get that done, and so maybe I'll do that this morning as well. I think that would be good. So I mean, things are going along just one step at a time, right? The fuel lines though, man, I should have thought that out a little better. Yeah, I know the fuel pump is on this line over here. So this is the receiving side and that's the pushback side, but I don't know which hose went where. I don't know what, again, I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe if I go back and look at the video, I can figure it out, or the video, or go back and look at the pictures, I can figure it out. I don't know. So we'll see. All right, so that's where we're at. Got to throw the PVC pipe away this morning and the old filter, which was just absolutely disgusting. I should have replaced it by now, but he definitely should have had it replaced, but it's nasty. I don't know that that's ever been replaced, to be honest with you. But it's been replaced now. I wonder if there's a date on this you could tell. I don't know. Anyway, it's been replaced now, so we're good. Yeah, I don't think there was much love on this generator prior to, you know, whatever. Anyway, so let's get this stuff swapped out and get rolling. All right, so I put all the coolant I had in there, so I have to run to the store. I also want to get quarts of T6 because it takes 3 quarts, and it's just easier for me in quart bottles to figure that out than it is to start dumping out of a gallon. It'll be more expensive, but whatever. I have to go anyway to get the coolant, so we'll get the coolant. I can hear it still sucking it in, so it's going to take quite a bit more, I think. All right, so we'll go get that, and I'll be back, and we'll get this show on the road. Like I said, I'll also change out the fuel filter. So, all right, I just got back at the store. I also got the stuff to change the oil in the tow car because it needs it. It's time. So I'm going to go full synthetic in this thing. I don't think it was that way before. I ended up getting a gallon of T6 for the other, for the generator. They didn't sell it in quarts, so that kind of sucks, even though the website said they did. It is what it is. I'll have to figure it out. No big deal. All right. So let me get this stuff over there. We'll start filling that up. Then I'll get over here and get the oil drain on that while it's still nice and warm because I just drove it. And yeah, we'll go from there. All right, that's great. We got all new coolant in here. It's totally full. Oh, I need to shut this. I'm glad we're talking. And we got a new fuel filter on, all that stuff. Of course, I pre-filled it, and it's ready to go. So we got our fuel and our coolant. I'm not going to do the oil until we run it. I'm going to start it up, run it for a bit, let it get warmed up, and then I'll do the oil. Plus, I can't get under there right now and get a good swipe at the old thing anyway until it's in the frame. So I'm going to switch gears real quick. I'm going to go start draining the tow car and get that all drained out, the oil while it's nice and warm because I went to the store, and because that really needs to be done too. And then we'll get busy on putting this, installing it into the frame of the bus. That'll be pretty exciting. What do you think? All right, so I got the oil draining. I'm going to let it go a little more. It's just dripping, but I want to get all of it out. So I have this thing just sitting down there, make sure no dirt gets in there. But that's wild, the oil filter being on top. It was pretty easy to swap out. I mean, you don't even have to get underneath the car to do it, so that's kind of slick. It is kind of tucked in behind the air manifold, though, so it's a little bit tricky to get it out. But easy peasy, got it out, did my thing, got it in, and I'm just going to let that drain for a while, a little bit longer before I put the new synthetic oil in. Just make sure I get all that stuff drained out. So we'll let it sit. We'll get over here on the other project, which is what you guys are watching, the generator. Just need to be done. So sometimes you just have to stop and do it so that it gets done because days go by, you know. And the warm weather is going to be gone here really soon. So I'm trying to knock this out with that warm weather. All right, so I think I'm ready to install it. I'm going to put the top on it now, though. Let's see. No, I need the top off to put the oil in. Is there oil? I guess there's oil here and oil there. I guess there's 2 places to put the oil in. Well, isn't that interesting? Huh. All right, well, I guess you put the oil in here when you're normally doing it. So I guess once you get to this point, you put the lid on, and you ain't supposed to get in that way. You're supposed to get in this way. So, I mean, that makes sense, I guess. It's going to be tough, though, huh? Like for this kind of stuff. You're going to be reaching up in there. I'm going to spin this around so that I can get to it because that's going to be rough. Huh. Well, I'm glad we're talking this out. Well, there's a big hole in the top. You can put the hole right in there. Anyway, all right, so these go behind there. These go in front. These go in front. These go behind. And these go in front. So I just need to loosen those 2 up so I don't have to take them out. That's good. Yeah, very good. All right, well, let me get this going and we'll get this top put on. Yeah. I wasn't even thinking about that daggone hole. All right, so what I'm running into now is I can't get the screw in. I can't get the screw in because I can't push this down far enough. And I think it's starting to bend right there. So what I think's going on is the top of that radiator is a little higher. That little radiator vent cap is a little higher than the old one. And it's hitting the top of this. So it's not allowing me to push it down. So I think I'm gonna pull this back off. And I'm either gonna drill a hole in this top cover, just big enough for that to slip through, or I'm gonna cut the top of that vent off. I'm not sure. I'll see what I can figure out when I get this off, but that's where I'm at. So there's always something, right? There's always something. Never easy. Never easy. Yeah, mark that off. Yeah, see, it's hitting right there. This thing's taller than the old, and it can't go higher or lower because that's the way it sits. So it's definitely hitting this. I can actually feel it's high. And I can see in here where it's rubbing. So that's good though, because I got a mark. So I guess I can put this down and just cut. I mean, it doesn't even have to be a very big hole, enough for that to fit through. So let me figure where that is. I think I'm just going to cut that off. It'd be better than having dirt and stuff going to the top. A lot of dirt. All right, so that's not like the perfect thing I wanted to do, but I mean, it fixes that thing, right? So now it's below there. It shouldn't push up on it much, and that should be able to seal. And it won't be rubbing on it and all that stuff. It sucks that I had to cut it, but it's still above any kind of the brass fittings or anything like that. It still works just fine, so we're good. We're good. Why cut something that you just bought? But if it's a different size, it's a different size, so. All right, let's see if we can get that lid back on there now. Let's catch on. Oh, that bolt I didn't underneath this bolt. Yeah, now it fits nice. All right, so we're at the 35-minute mark. I'm gonna wrap this video up. A lot of people are asking about the boat. Yes, it is springtime, so I'll be getting back on the boat. Here's the deal with I know there's a handful of people that really want to watch this through, and I appreciate it, I really do. But my numbers on the boat really dive down for the winter. Hardly anybody watches. Start springtime, summertime, the views go through the roof again on the boat. So I don't want to say I'm wasting my time. I'm not wasting my time, but if I post them in the winter, they just don't get the number of views that they will in the spring or summer. So we're going to get back on the boat shortly. I got 3 other projects that are wrapping up right now. The reason the generator after generator after generator videos, I ran out of video in the winter because I was lazy and didn't want to be outside in the cold. And so I've got to get the inventory back up to where I can alternate between projects. But there'll be other projects coming real soon, and we'll be getting back on the $10 boat shortly. So, all right. See you guys next week. Thanks so much for spending your time with me. I seriously know you have 1,000 other things you could be doing, and I appreciate you spending your time with me. See you next week.